All right, well, let me introduce our awesome speaker today, Eva Jones. She's going to be talking on a topic that I think we're all just super excited to learn a little bit more about. I hope it's not just me that gets completely overwhelmed with graphics. And, you know, it takes me an hour to create one, which it did for this Tips from the Top. And then Eva, like in 70 seconds, just popped one up and sent it out to all of us. And we used her graphics. So if you saw a graphic for this training series that we're doing, it probably came from Eva Jones. I think a couple others created their own, but she is the queen of not only graphics, but also just the whole fun factor. She's always thinking of creative ways to do her business, playing games, and often using graphics for those. She is brilliant, inventive, creative, super coachable, always looking to learn more, which is something that I really, really admire about this lady. But she is the queen of graphics, and she's going to make this simple for us today and tell us exactly how to do it. So Eva, I'm going to turn it over to you to share your screen.
Well, I think we should stop there. My cup's full. Thank you. Thank you for all the kind words. Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. It was such an honor to be asked to do this. I'm going to share my screen with you, and we are going to be using the program called Canva. Now I want to make sure that everybody can see this okay. Make it a little bit bigger.
Looks good.
So we're going to talk about graphics, kind of the basic 101s, things like that. I'm going to give you a little background. Making graphics kind of just started to evolve over time. It wasn't anything that I dove into right away. They kind of scared me, and it's a lot of, you get click happy and you start figuring things out as you go. But the fun part is seeing where you started on some of the first few graphics that you made. And as you start to learn new features that you can add to these, you see where you've come along and you're like, oh, look what I just did. So I'm going to show you some of the fundamental basics that you can start using now and implementing into your business. So anybody that wants to, you can go to www.canva.com, and they have a pro version and a free version. I currently decided about 6 months after using this and getting a feel for it and really liking it, that I decided to upgrade to the pro version. But there is still several things that you can do for free. And it also is super amazing because you can use it on your phone or your computer. And so because I'm back and forth between the two, I really love the feature of it being available on the computer. So here is where the website will take you. And you'll see a bunch of different options here. All right. So starting over at the top, the home screen is where we're at. Different templates. Okay. So you can dwell and dive into all these different things. If you want to make, like invitation cards, or if you want to do something for social media marketing, there's different apps. I haven't really even dove into that. There also is little how-to videos. Okay, so if this is something that you want to go further after this training, there's tons of videos on here to watch as well. So the first thing that we're going to do is we, as leaders within our company, we like to give shout outs and recognition. Recognition is one of those love languages in any company that you have. People like to hear their own name, see their accomplishments up on the wall, and maybe that's something that you want to do for your team. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm just going to come up here to create a design. And the most popular one that I use for practically everything is Instagram posts. It is a square 1080 by 1080 pixel. So when I click on that, it's going to give me a blank square. And I use these. So what's nice with Facebook, if you're wanting to present like a collage perhaps, and there's 4 photos, all 4 photos will fit on that post and be the one thing that it shows. So that's really nice with it being a square, because you know how sometimes you post 3 and there's like 1 long one and then 2 small ones, and then it's like plus 6 other pictures. You can get creative by having 4. Okay, so let's start out with a background. All right. So when you come over here, we're now in the creating area where it says templates, uploads, photos, elements. These are all different things that you can click and add to this square. All right. You can use any of these templates that are already created, and you see how it hovers over and it says the word pro. So you can only get this one if you have the pro feature. And this one says free. So if it says free and you don't have the pro, those are ones that you can use. If you were to use one of these, for example, we'll use this cute one here. You can click it and it's going to add it here. And you see where that teal box is? It's showing you each one of the different icons that it has. So like I can move this if I wanted to. And I'm just holding and dragging. I can move it. I don't like what it just did. Here's the back arrow up here. Home, file, resize, and then the back arrow. So anything you do, you can also undo. So this picture, I'm going to click it and I'm going to hit delete and check out this fun little box. You know what's cool about this box with the little grass and the bubbles is it's a customized shape to add and drop a photo. So if I were to want my own photo, so one of the things when it comes to making graphics, you want to put your brand in there, your face, your product, your colors. It can come down to what style font that you use. Okay, you can dig real deep into that. So we're going to go over to uploads. These are a bunch of photos that I have used in the past. I have my hostesses that are currently hosting for me. I like to use graphics with their pictures. My crazy self here. And so like I can take this picture and I can drag and drop it into that spot. And you can double click it and change where it goes. So maybe I want to use this for St. Patrick's Day. Let's change the background. So I'm going to slide this over. You see how it's layered? And let's say that we want this pink to be green. So I'm going to click on the pink. I'm going to come up here to background color. Here are my brand colors. And then I am with Color Street, and these are Color Street's colors. Or I can pick colors that are within the photo. So let's do that one. We can move this back over. I can change the color of these dots. Let's do a bright green. And then here is just taking a template and kind of creating it yourself. Let's say I want to add text. You can click over here back on the text box. There are different things that you can go through and customize. So you can change the words on these, or you can just click add a heading. And we're going to say, show me your green. Shoo me your green. How about that? Shoo me your green. Okay. And so, sorry, I get click happy. There's two different buttons here to your text. And the turquoise green that is around it, that means that's the thing that I am working on. These arrows allow you to move your words wherever. This little arrow here can help you pivot if you wanted to. And then what else is nice is this little dot here, you can make it bigger and remove it. So it doesn't really pop, right? So maybe I want to make it pop. I can come up to this top section, and this is going to allow me to change my text. So I can come down and I can pick a different font. Maybe let's try this one. Show me your green. And let's make it a little bigger. Maybe we want to change the color. So this is your text color. We're going to change it to, oh, that's big on the eyes. All right, that's bright, but it's popping. These dots here will give you some more. So there's tons of options here. We're going to go over to effects, and I'm going to give it a shadow. The only things I really play with here are transparency and color. Everything else I don't monkey with too often. And I'm going to put a black background behind this color and then enhance it. You see how it's starting to outline those letters? And now you can see it a little bit better. And if I don't like it there, I can put it down here. Maybe I want to come over to elements. And I'm going to come down to shapes and grab a square. These little white icons that you have here allow you to adjust your box. So I can make it thinner, a little bit longer, and I'm going to move it below here. So now it kind of looks like a picture. And you can add your logo to it. If you wanted to upload a logo, it'll allow you to do that as well. Let's see, I have mine under logos. And so I can pop in, this is a pre-created logo that I have, and I can pop that in there to kind of brand it myself also. Let's say that this was the recognition where we were going. Congrats on your promotion. Well, I want that to fit on one line. So I'm going to lower it until it fits. And let's say that this is my team colors. This is the post that I want, but I have 4 people that promoted. All right. You just did all this work. You rearranged it. Up here, duplicate page. Click that bad boy. Boom. I got 2. And I'm going to click on my pretty face and I'm going to delete it. And I'm going to come on over to uploads. And I'm going to grab another one of these pictures. And you can add their name. Maybe instead of where the Funky Foxy's at, it'll say the person who promoted's name. And so you can recreate as many of these pictures as you want and just change out the photo. So then they're all the same style, but with different people's pictures. So you're not having to start from square one all at the same time. Let's say that you are working on a series of different posts, but they're not going to have the same background, but you want them in the same shape and be able to use the same colors. You can come over to this one and click add a page. So it won't duplicate it, but it'll give you another page as the same size. So you can add here. I'm going to go to one of the areas that I've had done in the past. What also is nice, under here, under all your designs, will keep and save anything that you've ever worked on. All right. So I can show you some of the things that I have done in different ways to get them. So for example, we'll come over here to my mega party. The sizing I picked for this one was to fit in the banner of a Facebook group. So this top one here is my group cover. I like to stick within the same color schemes. And I don't know where I learned this from, but they said somewhere around like an odd number. Pick 3 colors, pick 5 colors, and like mix and match. I happen to use 2 colors. Well, 3 is if you include black. So I popped in each of my hostesses photos here, and all these are those little circle buttons. And those are going to be found under elements. This was a game changer for me. Mind you, the app I was using before Canva, I used to take a square picture and I would take the eraser tool to try to make a perfect circle and erase all the way around it. I can't tell you how much time this little frame has saved me. So here's all the different frames that you can get. And if it's got the cloud and the grass, that means you can add a photo to it. So you can change up, do some fun things, make a collage of maybe your product that you have and put it all over, and then pop the pictures of the items that you're selling and kind of make your own advertising. It's also good to put your own face on there. So that is where these circles came from. And then you're just able to resize them and move them around as you wish. And down here is another one that I made, adding different ideas to that. Let's see. Where is, right here. So we did the tips from the top. This is the one that I made for Sherry. And I used the same concept of colors. Here's the circle icons that I was showing you. What also is nice is like each of these is its own entity. Okay, so you can move them individually. But another thing that's really nice about this program, you see how it's lining up too, it helps you with the lines, is let's say that I wanted to move all of these pictures. I can highlight all of these. Oh, I grabbed that too. And move them as one. That's a huge time saver, and I'm like, it blew my mind that I could do that. Down here is when I made each individual one, and I just copied it and then re-put each person's information in. So that's really fun and exciting when you're doing recognition and you have more than one person to do. Let me see.
Eva,
Yes.
can you go back to that picture?
Yeah.
So there was it was a different one than this. It had like this one with that. So you see like the burgundy around the description.
Mm-hmm.
How did you do that?
All right, let's go backwards. So we're going to duplicate one. So this is the square from the elements under frames. We'll delete the text. And then this is under shapes. So in the shapes are all these different ones. And you see how some of them over here have a border and some of them do not?
Gotcha.
So when I click on this and it's got that turquoise box around it, up here at the top are the 3 colors that I'm using. So I can come in here and change them to whatever combination I want. Maybe I want to do that one.
How do you know if you're changing the main piece or the border?
I just kind of get click happy, to be quite honest. So like I didn't know which box was green, but now that I do, I'm like, maybe I want a lighter color, something that I can put text on for people to read. So this is a text box, okay? This one here is the photo, okay? This is also text, text. This is another one of the elements. And you can change the colors in this as well. So the stripes, if I want to make them yellow, I can change this and make this green, turquoise, and then you can layer on top of them. So I can come back over here and we're going to do this box, and it's a lot of moving things around, seeing where you want them. We'll add a little text box over here. This is just a standard one. Maybe I want this here, and I can do one little gradient piece. And you can change these colors around too. So maybe we'll have that be yellow and blue. And then you kind of come up with a foundation, and then you start to put your letters in, your words, things that you want to say. I love the questions. So if anybody has any more questions or wants me to dive in or repeat something, definitely let me know. These ones are fun. So you just drag and move them around, grab the corners to make them smaller, and you can change what they say.
Tammy asked if you could show one more time how you lined up all the picks and moved them out as one.
Yes. So that one up here. So it doesn't matter necessarily what you want. Each item that has its own little entity. So for example, you see at the box around the gray and the red, and then there's a box around we're bringing you the best. These are two separate things that I can work on. So if I wanted to move one of them, I can move one. Or if I want to move two, I'm just trying to find a spot on the outside to highlight both of them. See how both of them are selected, and I can move it together. So if I wanted to move just these four, I could. So I'm holding my mouse down and I'm dragging.
Yeah, you're pretty well clicking and dragging it, right?
Yep, yep. And then once everything's highlighted that I want highlighted, that's what allows you to move. So one of the things that I also like to make is trackers. I like to make trackers for my team. So for example, I just got done making this tracker. We're doing an incentive right now that if they increase their sales, they get free testers. So these little boxes, right? These little boxes are all their own separate entity. And when I was making this, I started with one box. Okay, so I started with one box. I figured out the size that I wanted, and I am Command C is copy, and then Command B is paste. So I made another one. And I was like, okay, I think that's good. And we're gonna do it again. So this is where it can get time consuming if you want it to, but it gets easier. And you see how they're not perfect? That'll bug me. And I will figure out until they're lined up how I want them. And I'm like, okay, I think that's good. And I want to do 5 more. So I'm gonna highlight the 5 that I want, Command C, copy, and check that out. I just went from making 1 to making 5. Well, I want even more. It's another reason why I love this program is because I just the old program would make me do them individually and I couldn't move them all. So these are little things that I personally appreciate. Well, that's not centered, so that bugs me too. So I'm going to move this here and then maybe add something down here. Now, let's say that you want to add a picture to the background, all right? Let's go up to photos. So photos and uploads are 2 different things. Uploads are going to be your photos that you want to use that are your personalized ones. And then photos is different ones that you can get from Canva. So let's use these, for example. It is springtime, right? And let's say we want this to be our background. So I am going to size this to fit my background. Now it's really vibrant, okay? I just want it to be a little bit. So here's the next fun thing that you can do. I'm gonna come down to elements and I'm going to take a box and I'm gonna go over the exact same thing. Okay, but I want it to be white. You're like, Eva, but it's gone. I'm gonna come up to this, it's called transparency, and I can tone down the flowers.
Oh, wow.
And then position, okay? You see how the boxes are still behind the white? I can move this backwards. Oh, it's gonna make me do all these. See how they're starting to come forward? And I still have the flowers. It's muted a little bit more. You can even do it with black. So let's see if I can click that. Black is another one that you can do depending on the color that you have behind it. It kind of gives it a different look. It's fun. I mean, you can really do it with any color and change the transparency. White is usually my go-to. Just to kind of mute the color of the background, not to wipe out my graphic too much. And then it kind of gives it a whole new look. So even if it's a full-blown picture maybe of what your product is. So for us, I took the picture that corporate gave us and I put it as the background just to kind of draw attention, add some color, a little bit more than just white. And I muted that a little bit also. Now we're going to go back to the home page because I want to show you. Go to create a design, and depending on what you want. So let's say that you want something for Facebook. Type in Facebook, and here are all of the predetermined sizes that you need. So if you want a Facebook post, now I did say that my personal go-to is the Instagram one of the 1080 by 1080, but if you want it to be a post, it's actually 940 by 788. You don't really need to know those numbers. They have it all figured out for you. Or maybe you want to do an event cover. Okay, if you're doing an event and you're telling all of your friends, and when you're all said and done of making this picture, you want to be able to upload it into your Facebook event. Give me an example. What are some things that you would do? Do you guys play any fun games? Do you maybe want to do a new launch? We could do a new launch to like set out an event that's kind of like a reminder of letting people know. Let's do this one. All right. You're going to have a dinner party. You're going to have what is it? A 515 party? Is that what they're called?
I don't know.
Invite 5 of your friends. You get 1 out of your time. 511 party.
Oh, 511, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. Now I want to
What
mute.
is it? I don't know what a 511 party is.
It's the hostess invites 5 people, and each one of her guests that she invites brings 1 friend, and you're in and out,
Oh.
in and out in 1 hour.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Oh, okay.
I learned that from Sherry. All right, so here we go. We're gonna have, we're gonna do a little get friends together, have some food, and talk about life because we've all been cooped up, right? You can even do the transparency in these if you wanted to. Food and fun night. I'm gonna make it fit. Go ahead with the questions if you guys have any. Saturday. No, doesn't matter, right? 20th at 12 p.m. These automatically have centered. So if you wanted to change the alignment, you can have it come all the way over, other side, middle, or you can move it around the way you want to. Let's see. I'm personally drawn to that color, if you can't tell.
Show me how you did that one more time, Eva, how you have two separate, like you can move one line over and not the other.
So if I click on, so these are two separate entities. So if I click on this, I can come up to the top and change where I want it to be within the field. So you see how this has this square. Doesn't help that this is the same color. So you see the turquoise box, and you see how it's as long as the yellow box. If I were to shorten this, it shortens it with me. If I want it longer, it'll be longer. But you can also change the location on where they go. So if you for sure want your text to be within the yellow box, make sure that these are lined up with the yellow box, and you can move it around one side to the other.
Excellent, thank you.
If you come over to elements, you can also search. So I use arrow quite often, where I'm pointing to a deal. So I found that I wanted what I wanted, excuse me. Let's give it a color. And I can size it. Just grab the corner and move up or down. I can rotate it with this one. Let's do, let's do a fun gradient circle. And then maybe right here, I will put in so I changed the colors, clicking the box, and then up here on top are the two colors that it used for the gradient. Now I'm going to add text, and I'm going to say that it is at Olive Garden. And then 2828, I don't know, 28th Street. And we will, oops, change the size. So then like we just kind of decided to give it a spot for location. You can change the font. And now what I always recommend is trying not to have too many crazy fonts. Stick to like two. Find two different ones. Have one for your bold. So like this one, we'll use that. And then maybe if it's not hard to read is another thing. You want to make sure your viewers can read it. It kind of adds element. Another fun thing that you can do with your words is when you come up to the three dots and you go to these three lines and the arrows up and down, you can space out your letters. And that kind of gives it a new look also. I know that I'm throwing a lot at you right now.
The good news is they can watch us many times.
You can watch it again, and it's one of those things that you can learn as you go. And really just click around, try things, move them around. You can even add different little graphics to it if you want. Depending on your theme. Let me show you. Ooh, you guys hear that wind? Where is... So see, I've been playing all over.
Before you're done, Eva, I think it would be awesome for everyone, for them to just have you show them some different kinds of graphics you've created for your hostesses, for the teams, because you are really creative in the different reasons that you use graphics. And you send them to me often after, well, even on our coaching calls, like, look what I did. So they're just wonderful. I think they get some ideas from you there, I think.
So I have a accountability buddy who also does Color Street with me. We're in 2 completely separate teams, and her and I both found a love for using Canva, and we have discovered that we run our businesses very similarly. So this that I'm showing you here is a project that her and I have worked on together. So that's another thing that's nice, is let's say that you have somebody else that you work with that loves doing these also, you can divide and conquer. So once a month, we do what we call a mega party within our business. And what we've done is we've created different graphics for our mega party. And this is kind of like our template. So we have our different graphics that we have in here that we've made, and we will change them. See how fun, you can even add your own photo. And this is my partner in crime, Jen. And so as you can see, when you start to get familiar, you can really start to layer different elements to the photo. All right, looks like we're having a party here too, specials. But this is what we've worked on. So what's nice, so last month we did, so this month we're doing spring. Last month we did green and St. Patrick's Day. All right, so let's say that I want to change this up. I'm going to switch my pinks to my greens. So I can change these backgrounds. Let's go to photos, and we're going to go shamrocks. But keep everything pretty much the same. And we'll do that like a gold color. I think I like the white better. So here are different, like I said, different ones that we've worked on. And then I'd probably add pot of gold. That one's cute. We're going to add that right down here. And then there's my fun little graphic. So it's all basically, the work is done for me, and we just change it up to whatever season we're in. What else? They do also, what's cool, these are all posts that are done for you. So let's say that you want to start getting into Canva and start learning different things. You can use one of these that's already done. So you can click on it and then customize the words to say what you want them to say. Add extras, but the foundation is pretty much done for you. You didn't have to think of these 3 lines or this color or these fonts. So that's always a good start. We'll go back into some of the designs that I've done. And then it automatically saves it for you. So this one, I was, my husband and I are trying to decide what kind of layout we want for our patio. So I was using Canva for that. All different things.
You ever use any of the effects? Like the background remover?
Say that one more time.
Do you ever use any of the effects?
Any of the effects, Eva?
let's see. Are we thinking?
Where you can take a photo and remove the background and make it your own photo.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Good question. That's perfect.
You should show us how to do that.
All right, so we're gonna start with a fresh new design. Okay. Now, when you remove the background, I do know that that is a pro feature. And I actually, so on my computer, I took a picture today to show you that. So I just dragged and dropped my photo in. Here I am. Let's say that I want to talk about a deal. You come up to the effects, there's this background remover. And when you click that, in a click of a button, it makes everything behind you disappear.
I love it.
So there I am. And we can say, let's talk about deals. Let's put me on a beach. Anybody else?
I love it. I like the beach. Makes you a time traveler.
Did you see this beautiful sunset? Now I look like a real estate agent. That's perfect. And so that's kind of a fun way of being able to put yourself on your photos, branding, and personalizing things, you know, because people they get excited and they want to see your face and connect with you. I use pictures of my kids quite often, of my team, my customers. If my customers are doing a party, I will put them on photos. So yes, you can definitely remove the background. So you don't even have to be a professional photographer. You can take your iPhone, turn your camera so it faces you, find something to prop it on, set your 3-minute timer, and then, smile. That's how I did this sitting here. I was like, okay. And ta-da, there it is.
Eva, could
Yes.
you show how to set up your brand kit?
So the
like,
brand kit, I
Specific
believe,
colors.
is
Yeah.
also part of the Pro feature. So if you come down to brand kit, you can decide your colors that you want for your brand. So these ones here are my brand colors. And these are the fonts that I chose for myself also. I found that in most graphics I was using that font. So I was like, all right, well, we're just gonna make that default. So when you come into brand content, you can add your logos. So I have my personal logos and my team's logos in there, and I can put those when they have the gray and white background. That means they're transparent. So I can put them over photos and make them smaller. So if you were to click on this, it'll ask you, what graphic or image do you want to take to add to your logos? And you can pull that off your desktop. When it comes to brand colors, figuring out, I have, for example, here are Color Streets colors. You can click the plus sign. Now, depending on what your color is, most color or all colors come with a number code. If you know the number code, you can punch that in, and that's how I found the exact colors that I needed for Color Street, because they provided us with that. So your company might do the same under their branding guidelines. Or if you want to determine what your colors are going to be, because that is a good way to shine through, knowing if you're If your colors are always like a light blue and a hunter green and a beige, and you're using that same concept for everything, it can also be a unique way of branding yourself without necessarily using your image. But you can slide around until you find the color that you're looking for. And then this one will slide around also. Or you can have the number input. And then over here under brand fonts, remember when we went into, I will show you actually. So there are 3 different ones that you can enter in that you want it to be. So these are the 3 that I most commonly use. So if I go back to all of my designs, let me find one. This is my thank you card that I use for checkout. And you go to text. There, these are the 3 that I was telling you about when you first click. They're your default. I lost my train of thought. My default text.
Fonts, right?
Fonts, thank you. My default fonts that you can use all the time. And you would change that under your brand kit.
Is there a limit to how many you can have?
It just gives you the 3, but it doesn't mean that you can't pick something else. So when you click on the word, you can come down. They have a variety of fonts available to you. And then the little crown just means it's part of the pro version. And you can change them up and see which ones you like. And so like with the seasons, I'll change it up. I was wearing red and blue, and I was like, I really like that picture and I didn't want to take a new one. So I made it black and white. And so by doing that, for example, you can click that and change your filter. And here are tons of different filters you can do for that photo. The options that this has are endless. I'm constantly learning new things all the time, playing, looking at other people's graphics. What is it that you like about it? What is it you don't like about it? You know, starting to pay attention. If graphics are things that you're wanting to get into, to start utilizing and working with, pay attention to those things. Do they have, you know, is it really busy? Is it, you know, what are the things that you like? How's the layout? What's the shape? What colors are in there? How many colors are they using? So branding with the colors is something new that I've recently gotten into. Excuse me. So for the longest time, it's been a hodgepodge of things. And I recently did a training about the different colors and how you can brand without a photo. So finding, you know, 5 or 6 colors that you like and using them within your own. So we are going to do, and it keeps them up here. So the brand kit will keep your 6 colors or however many colors that you have up front. So as I start to play with the graphics and add different things, I can customize and change them to fit accordingly. Let's see. Let's play bingo in our VIP group. So maybe I'll have this be white. Does anyone else have any other questions? I mean, this is pretty much the fundamentals of what I was going to show.
Can you real quick show them your Lollapalooza?
Oh, my Party Pack Palooza?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's if I made that in Canva.
Kind of double training here with really creative ideas of what you can do with your graphics, but also how to.
Oh, here's another fun one. Sorry, sidetrack. This was actually shared with me, and this is how I started to fall in love with Canva. So Lauren Granado shared her party tracker with me. These, you can even make things like this. Like this is a tracker for my Facebook parties. Each box is an order, and I've also customized it for my own. And so what I've done, if you can still see me on camera, right? If I hold up something.
Yep.
So like I have a notebook that I carry around with everything. And I took these graphics and I printed them on sticky paper, and they go with me wherever. So this is also something that was created within Canva. So there's more than just adding a picture. Like you can make a template. I actually just recently decided I wanted to make an hourly, what I do down to the hour, because I'm trying to better manage my time other than making graphics. And I made that on here. Let me find my Party Pack Palooza. It was right next to that one. Is here. So I was pushing for our Punta Cana incentive, and this was a game that I played. So the board was all set up. Party Pack Palooza, everyone wins. There's 9 spots. Once all 9 spots have been filled, we will draw our winners. There'll be 1 winner for $25 in nail cash, 2 winners for a mystery set, 3 people will get 50% off 1 set, and 3 people will win nail swag. Order 4 sets to enter. And I would post this empty board without the names on my VIP group and share and go live and let them know how the game worked and share my link. And anybody that ordered 4 sets, I'd add their name. So I might get a couple people. It wasn't 9 at once. It was usually a couple people that ordered. Then I'd update the board and someone else would see it, whether it be a second time or first time, and add their names. And I'd keep going. And, you know, when it starts to fill, they're like, oh, there's only 3 spots left. I better get on it. She's going to do the drawing soon. So this is one of the graphics that I had made to do that. And because I was going for Punta Cana, my background was constantly changing for different fun tropical places. So each board was different. You could do pictures, you could do a different color. Then I threw my logo on there to personalize it and make it my own. But that's what the board looks like by itself.
Love it.
I could talk all day about this. I'm sorry. I feel like I've been chatting away.
Do we have to pay or place an order to enter for that game?
For Party Pack Palooza, you need to, yes, it does cost. It does. It's not necessarily a pay to play, but you need to, anyone that orders 4 sets for my company, if you order 4 sets of Color Street, they were added to this Party Pack Palooza board. And so it was an extra incentive that the first 9 players, they would all win something, but they had a 1 in 9 chance of getting $25 in nail cash. And some chances of a mystery set, 50% off a future set, just fun little additions that they could get. And the fun part is, from the Color Street stylist standpoint, you're thinking, you know, or viewing in, you're like, well, where do the prizes come from? They come from hosting a party. So instead of hosting a party per se, you can still rack up a $300 party, and the rewards that a hostess would get are all divided into these prizes. So it's not coming out of my pocket. I'm not losing any commissions. I'm just utilizing our reward system and divvying up versus it going to one person.
You're basically the hostess.
Yes. Mhm.
Do you have a Facebook group with all these ideas that we can check out? Love this.
Yeah, so if you go to thefunkyfoxy.com is where you will find all the things for myself, from my VIP group to I have a Foxy Boxy. It's my subscription box, where there's going to be some fun extras. Our April box is coming up really soon. So the April, to give you a little information about the boxes, that's my little special for you, for anybody that joined in for our tips from the top. I'm doing $5 off the box. So what it is, it's a $35 box. You get 2 full sets of Color Street plus a variety of other items. And I always keep it a mystery because that keeps it fun. And I ship them out on the 1st of the month. And they usually arrive within 5 to 7 days, depending on how postal service is going. And it's going to be, like I said, 2 sets of Color Street. And then I have filled them with one time we had things from Bath and Body Works. We had slipper socks from Old Navy. So they're good gifts in there. And it's kind of just like a little pamper package for yourself.
How do they do that? Eva, how do they order from you?
So if you go to thefunkyfoxy.com and look for subscription box, it's going to take you to like my website is going to give you a variety of options of different things that I offer. So the subscription box is on there. My VIP group is on there. My order form is on there, and following my business page is also on there.
And how do they get the discount?
Tell me that you came from Tips from the Top.
There you go. Excellent. Very nice. And maybe there's somebody that doesn't know what Color Street is.
Yeah, so we are 100% real nail polish in a dry strip form. This is our fun little package here. So you get 16 strips. It is dual ended. They last on average 10 to 14 days. There's no heat, no tools, just peel, apply, and go. And they remove with nail polish remover. They are a total game changer. Amazing. Love them. I would love to know if anybody has never tried it. I have samples. You can get a sample from me and I will walk you through how to put them on.
Do they pay the shipping on the boxes?
Nope. So the boxes are standard $35 shipped. And then with the coupon code, you can get it for $30 shipped. And our nail strips range from $11 to $14. So getting 2 of those pretty much pays for the rest of the box, right? The rest of the box is all extra freebies.
Well, you can unshare your screen if you want, Eva. So if we might see anybody raise their hand, or anybody else have any questions, or.
I will show you my Color Street that's on my hands right now.
Yeah. Check me out.
Is it? No, it's pink. It's like a pink glittery.
Oh, is that a new one?
I don't know. I have so many. I love
It looks
them.
like check me out. I love it. I do put non-Color Street items in the box. Yes. So last month we had, I can show you what past box looked like. Please hold. They're a lot of fun, the subscription boxes that I've started doing. Okay. So here is, I'm going to share with you here real quick. Here is my December box. So I got 2 sets of Color Street. It was my sugar and spice box. I like to come up with a new name. So this came with, I had to have sugar. So there's Gardella chocolate. And then spice was this tea. So there's tea. And then there was nail polish remover, some lotion, eyeshadow, nail stickers. And these are some fuzzy socks and chapstick in that box.
So these are prizes or gifts?
This is the subscription box. So
Good idea.
This is the subscription box that I started in December. So here was my February box. Like I said, it was a complete mystery. Like, people don't know what I'm going to send them. They just trust me and purchase. And I give them the name And so this one was Because I Love You. And I had been advertising these to my VIP groups because I know that I wouldn't have what I have without them. In this box, they got the 2 sets of Color Street, a glass nail file, the little nail care kit, and then we also got some hand masks, and then different little sample packs, and then there was also some chocolate and a fun little keychain, just to kind of give you some ideas. I have one more I'll show you. And then here is my January box. 2 sets of Color Street. It had sweater, weather, car fragrance. So this was a little car vent and scent thing. Those are those grippy socks. My favorite antibacterial hand spray. My new favorite makeup remover wipes. Some chocolate. And it kind of had like a blue theme. So I have fun doing those and making different themes. I love that everyone in our company shares their ideas, and then you get to take them and make it your own. So here was my Bit O Fun Foxy box. They got 2 sets there, and I went with a green and gold themed. So they got a rainbow colored face mask, some chocolate gold coins. You gotta have green glitter eyeliner for St. Patrick's Day. It's a must. This is a like reusable straw kit. It comes with a cleaning brush and the retractable. And then this is some lip gloss, some sugar scrub, and little goodies added to it.
So clever, Eva. You guys got like bonus stuff today. Not just the how-to, but I think lots of really fun ideas of different graphics that you can create to use for different things, recognition, sales for your VIP group, just really fun ideas of what you can create, not just how to, Eva. So thank you so much. You were amazing, amazing.
Yeah. And all the stickers on those boxes I just showed you were stickers that I created using Canva. See, we just went full circle.
There you go. Well, thank you so much. We have kept you over a few minutes, and so thank you all that were hanging out with us today and stayed a little extra time. But it was worth it, wasn't it? It was just really fabulous. Thanks, Eva.
Thanks, you guys. Thanks, Sherry.
Thank you.
So much. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.